Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight night from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some you.
Now, my system went completely. Fuck is wrong with my damn. My system went completely off the radars. Okay, I don't know what else to say other than that, and it's still not acting right. So you guys are gonna have to give me a few moments while I fix my system. I may have to restart my whole computer after just being gone all of this time. Something completely happened. My entire computer went down. I can't even hear myself. Probably because I'm not even on this. Happy Monday, guys. I had a lot of stuff done. Literally a lot of stuff done. For fuck's sake. You guys are going to hear me start cussing here in just about 2 seconds flat. If this fucking computer does not start working properly. I've been having so many problems with this computer. I just don't think it can handle this, this stuff anymore. It's just too much pressure. Give me a second while it's loading back up. Guys, it's, just to let you know, I'm having a lot of technical issues right now, so you guys are going to have to bear with me. I just need to get these issues resolved. I've got issues going on with my camera. I've got issues. You know what? At this point, I'm shutting everything down. I'm going to reboot my system. I will come back. We're going to be starting live late. We got a great show for you. I hope you guys stick around. If not, have a great day.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
going to, because every freaking thing in this office just went south. Like, I hit live, and then my whole entire screen went out. Everything just stopped working. So you guys could hear me, but I couldn't see a damn thing. And I had a great morning, got up at 3 o'clock. I've got literally almost everything I need to have done for my county meeting tomorrow. I've got everything I need for this show and tonight's show. And I went through here and went through our whole entire next 90 days of events that we're going to be doing. And I get here, everything's rocking and rolling perfectly. And as soon as I hit live, my whole system goes out. Literally my whole system. I couldn't tell if you guys could hear me. I couldn't tell if you guys could see me. I was cussing. I'm just frustrated. Happy Monday. Happy Manic Monday. What the hell do you do? What the hell do you do? But this is the way everything has been in this office for literally ever. I'm over it. I'm over it. Today was just like the cake that just, I'm over it. I'm over it. In order for me to get this, we're going to need a $2,500 computer. Okay. I need a desktop. I can no longer run this show from a laptop. I've got cords coming everywhere in this office just to try to keep this show alive, because I don't want to spend the money on a new computer. And it's going to be one of those things where we're starting off the year with needing a new blessed computer. I don't know what else to do. I'm just frustrated this morning. Anyways, change the tune, right? Everybody has a frustrating day. So what? So what? It's called life. It's called life. It's called a shitty fucking life. But who cares, right? Anyways, let's move on with the show. So our opening intro is good morning and welcome. Let me get it up so we can go through it. I have we got 5 things that we're going to be going over today. And quite frankly, I can't get anything to work in this office. So I'm just over it. I'm just over it. Like today, nothing is working. Literally nothing. I feel like all this work I've done for the last 3 hours is just for shit. Anyways. All right, guys, now that I'm done be humbugging me, blah, 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 let's change the tune. Let's get back on. Shake it off. Shake it off. So good morning. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Show. I'm Bullhorn Betty. Then this is where we're going to cut through narratives, challenge bad policies, demand accountability, and whether media likes it or not. Today's show is about one central theme. Actions have consequences, especially when it comes to leadership, policy decisions, and voting records. From international narco-terrorism to massive domestic fraud, from courtroom accountability to the real-world cost of soft-on-crime policies, this show is not about talking points. It's about facts, due process, and responsibility. And as I said, we are covering 5 major stories today. The arrest and prosecution of Venezuelan strongman Nicolas Maduro and the hypocrisy surrounding due process. The ongoing Minnesota fraud and how it's effectively ended Governor Tim Walz's political future. An important update on Alec Murdaugh and why we will be physically present in South Carolina next month, and are on the ground reporting from Uvalde following a mass casualty event. And why are they being brought up today? Well, one of the officers, their trial is beginning. And so I think it will be very important for us to touch on that. And finally, a difficult but necessary story and discussion about a murder of a North Carolina teacher, Zoe Welsh, and why votes matter. So let's go ahead and just get into it, since this morning has been a morning from hell. I feel like I took y'all's Manic Monday and I burdened the soul of myself for all of you, okay? So all of you should be able to have a beautiful, amazing day, because Betty's day just went boom, right? And this also shows you that when a day goes boom, we can still reel it back in and still do well. Still do well. It's just crazy. It's a crazy morning. It's a crazy morning. So let's go ahead and, like I said, just get into it. Where in the world? And of course, nothing is working. Jesus. All right. Clearly, my camera got messed up. So let's go into the camera settings first and foremost. Let's get the camera set because clearly my camera's all fucked up. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Okay, that's about as much as I'm going to be able to zoom in. Autofocus. Let's get me out of autofocus. There we go. I am so frustrated with today. Oh, that's what happened. Hold on. That might have a lot to do with it. I just realized the camera was off ever so slightly and not... Must have got all functified. Functified. There, that looks better, right? Is that right? Is that right? Or is it wrong? Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. There we go. I think we got it. Let's see what goes on here. Okay. All right, well, hopefully we got it. I won't know until after all this is said and done whether we got it or not. We've had technical issues, guys. I don't think we've ever had any technical issues like I had this morning. I literally hit start and my whole entire live went blank. My system just went boom and shut down. But I had been working on my system literally for a really, really long time. On the new tab, we are. Sorry, guys. I would like to have everything working for you guys, but today is not one of those days. So here it is. Now that we got it all running, like I said, the whole system went fritz. So my camera's out of whack, the system's out of whack, everything's out of whack. So I had to fix it on the fly today, which I think we did pretty well. Am I frustrated? You bet your ass. Bullhorn Betty's like beyond pissed off at this morning. So we're just going to get right into it. Anyways, Maduro, let's start with Venezuela. For years, the same people screamed about Donald Trump's enforcement, the narco-terrorist enforcement about the maritime law against narco-terrorists or narco-traffickers and their boats, right? We just had people like Rand Paul, piece of shit, and then we have Tom Massey, another piece of shit, in our Congress that loves to beat up Donald J. Trump and loves to start coming after him for blowing up these narco-trafficking boats. But now they're complaining about them going in there and bringing Nicolas Maduro to the States for due process. It's like they can't figure out what they want. They're like, oh, well, what did he say? It's like, what did Rand Paul say? I think we should start getting some clips up here of Rand Paul, because he was saying, well, we don't know what was on the boats. How do we really know that there were substances on the boat? And when do we just start blowing people up? Why don't we bring them over here for due process, right? So fast forward to now, Nicolas Maduro, an actual dictator, an actual narco state leader, is being brought to face charges in the United States, and all of a sudden the same voices are upset again. Why? Because this time it's due process, right? There's no drone strikes. There's no covert assassinations. There's no military overthrow. I mean, they did remove a president from Venezuela, but he was never a legitimate president because he stole that election from his people. A legal process, charges, courts, and evidence. That's what everybody's been screaming about, right? And this man has had a warrant for his arrest from the United States long before Donald Trump was here. And as a matter of fact, even Kamala Harris, one of the people that are condemning Donald Trump now, actually put out a $25 million bounty on Maduro's head during her tenure as VP. She wanted him to come in. She was offering $25 million to bring him to the United States. But they are weak and have no spine or no kahunas. Donald Trump, on the other hand, does. Yet they're still angry. Nothing makes the modern liberal political class happy. If Trump uses force, they scream. If the system uses law, they scream. If criminals are held accountable, they scream. If nothing is done, they scream even louder. What they actually want is destruction, followed by outrage about the destruction. Maduro is not a victim. He is the head of a narco regime tied to drug trafficking, corruption, and human suffering. Bring him before the United States court is not imperialism, it's accountability. And if you claim to support the rule of law, you cannot selectively apply it based on ideology. So let's go and get into this.
Good evening. Great to be with you tonight. 2 days earlier than expected with that major breaking news that could shape the year, maybe even the century. After months of buildup, at 2:01 a.m. local time today in Caracas, Venezuela, U.S. Delta forces slipped into the home of dictator Nicolas Maduro. By 3:30 a.m., he and his wife were in American custody. They landed at an airport north of New York City just a few hours ago and will face drug and gun charges in a New York courtroom. We're going to have a live report from there in just a moment. But first, more on the raid, a mission that President Trump today compared to nothing seen since World War II.
I got to tell you, for a lot of people that may complain one way or another about our president, which is fine, this mission was done flawlessly. Oh boy, dare Trump to come get him. I know! FAFO! Right? Be careful of those lethal hashtags. Chris and Katie thought the lethal hashtags were hashtag Chris and Katie, right? Hashtag Chris Proudfoot, Katie Proudfoot. Most dangerous hashtags. The most dangerous hashtag on YouTube is the one from President to Maduro that said hashtag FAFO. I'm just saying. Just saying, not playing. Just saying, not playing. So now we're actually getting down to the part where everybody was screaming, what about the due process, right? Do you guys remember that? Just raise your hand. You don't have to agree with my commentary, right? I realize some of the people in here are not Republicans, and I realize that they really don't. They're waiting for me to get to the true crime stuff, but they just love us because they love you guys, right? And so I don't expect everybody to love Betty, like, and love this kind of stuff. But you guys all did hear Rand Paul, Massey, all the Democrats say due process. Remember when they were angry about the boats, right? Raise your hands. Come on, raise your hands up high. If you guys heard them say, we want due process. We want due process. How are you going out there? I don't know if it's lawful for you guys just to go and blow up boats. Remember that? You guys, I know you guys heard it. You guys might be shy with your hand. But I know you all heard it. Well, you know what? This is what due process looks like, folks. Just to let you know, this is exactly what due process looks like, in my opinion. So this is exactly what they claim they wanted. Again, they're still angry. Nothing we do is ever going to make people not be angry, right? Anything that has to do with Trump. Look at these people. I have never in my life, I don't even realize these people realize that the Republican Party is literally trolling the shit out of them. They think it's funny now. No kings and no nothing. Wait until it goes down in the history books and y'all are the biggest idiots in the world. Why do I say that? Because, think about it. We've got the Democrats literally trying they're supporting dictators, i.e. kings and queens, after saying no kings and queens. They are supporting the illegals and they don't even care about the black vote anymore. They're just replacing the black vote, right? They got the black vote dependent on federal government. Right? All the welfare benefits, all this, that, and the other. Well, a lot of the black people realized they didn't need the government. They just needed education. So they started going out and educating themselves and pulling themselves out of government assistance and getting bona fide educations and scruples upstairs and not on the tit of the government. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, they don't need the black vote anymore. They're just going to start transporting, the Venezuela, the Mexico, and the Islamic vote in because they no longer need the black vote, right? The black vote, they don't need some people still need, on both sides of the aisle, still need government assistance. But let's be honest. What has changed over the last few years? People got educated, right? People of all walks of life that never had opportunities before had opportunities before them and went and chose to get educated. And it took a lot of the lower crust of our society that were on the tit of the government, and it lifted them up. And so now they're not on the tit of the government. And now it's like, wait a minute, we're trying to bankrupt the country. We're trying to make this a socialist state. We're trying to own stuff and classify it or convince people it's to spread the wealth evenly, knowing that never works because it seems like everybody at the top seems to always have so much more than everybody kind of at the bottom. So it's not about the haves, and it's not about making things equal for everybody. It's about further dividing of who the haves and the have-nots are. That's what I truly believe is going on. But at the end of the day, Maduro, he was arrested. We're not going after World War III. We didn't go in there to injure anybody or to hurt anybody. We went in there with a sophisticated plan to extract a criminal and bring him here to the United States to face due process and the charges levied against him by the United States. So why is anybody upset? It doesn't seem to make sense. Maduro is not a victim, as I said, and if you claim to support the law, you cannot selectively apply it based on ideology. Now, let's talk about Minnesota, right? Minnesota has a lot of problems, and let me just show you this. This is him coming to the States. Here he is.
Handcuffed and humiliated, the erstwhile leader of a nation of around 30 million people. But Nicolas Maduro's next public appearance will be in a New York courtroom as a suspected felon.
I don't think this man is ever going to get out. I really don't. I don't think him and his wife are ever going to get out. I mean, you're talking about, at this moment, he's got about 300,000 plus, a decade. You're talking about 100,000 people a year. So you're talking about 1 million people. 1 million deaths are on this man's hands. You guys understand it. And that's just from the substances he pushed across our borders. This has nothing to do with the violence him and his cartel have done to their own people and people that oppose them across this country and world. Okay? The reason why people were celebrating his capture is because he was throwing people in jail that did not want to do this type of work. Can you imagine your children going to jail because they don't want to step on some coca leaves? I just want to put that into, and we got, and this comes back to the people that are being trolled by Trump. And you're out there in the streets saying, we want him in office? We want him to oppress his people? You people have lost your ever-loving mind. This Trump derangement syndrome is real, folks. When you're out there literally supporting and cheering on a man that has killed 1 million people, and you're crying for this man, you are a problem. You have lost your mind. I think you need to be in an insane asylum. If you are crying over this man, you are sick in the head. Let me repeat that. If you cried over this man, which I've seen some people crying, our government should have went and picked those people up and took them to the insane asylum. Okay? I know Venezuela is still partying. They're not going to stop partying. But we were handed a kind of like a bittersweet defeat in part because the loyalist, the VP, is a loyalist to Maduro. And Donald Trump just told this lady, like, you're gonna meet worse fate than Maduro if you do not cooperate with the United States. And if she wants to sit here and act like a thug, we will treat her like a thug. And I will tell you, if she gets, it's not our problem. I will go to bed just fine at night. I just want to make sure I put that out there. So if anybody has a problem with it, you guys can start making your talking points now about how Bullhorn Betty's mean, okay? I don't like crime, okay? I don't like crime, and I don't like people dying. You got to remember, Manatee County was the epicenter of this nonsense here. The epicenter of the United States in my backyard. There was literally hundreds of people on the weekend going to our morgue. There was days that we had 25 people lose their life. Like at this time, we had 250,000 people in our community. That was ridiculously crazy. I lost a lot of friends. So you're going to ask me, how do I feel about this guy? You don't want to know how I feel about this guy. You guys would probably be like, oh, I didn't know you had that in you, Betty. You have no clue. You have no earthly idea. And I guarantee there's a lot of mommies and daddies out here that feel the same way I do right now about this man. He deserves everything he's getting. And thank God, and I'm going to say this again, thank God he got President Trump that does lead through strength. Because I'm telling you, if it was any other MAGA behind the helm, this man would have been executed. He would have never been put on a plane and brought back to the United States. Did you guys hear about bin Laden? Let me just remind you about bin Laden and how we here in the United States handle despicable people, okay? So let me just re-clarify this to all of you bleeding hearts out there, okay? Donald J. Trump gave this man an opportunity to breathe. He didn't have to do that. We could have went in there and went out, and nobody would have been the wiser unless we came up and said we did that. We could have definitely taken a world leader out, right? But no, instead, what did he do? Went and picked him up. He tried diplomacy. Diplomacy didn't work with this knucklehead. So you want to test our president? Again, this is the United States of America, folks. When you have people try you like that, do you think we should put our tail between our legs and go run off and scurry off? I don't know how many New Yorkers I've got in my chat, but I can promise you Donald J. Trump, President Donald J. Trump from New York, is not the type of New Yorker that's going to have somebody mock him and him just turn away and walk away, right? Especially when you're killing a lot of our people. You wanted to FAFO? Well, now you get to find out, right? You get the FO part of it. And that's what happened. And again, Maduro's very lucky, because had it been any other operation from any other country, this man and his wife would be deceased. And everybody here knows that. We gave him an opportunity to due process under the United States law. Everybody should be happy with that. That's how you do this. That's how we do this, folks. Donald Trump didn't become jury and executioner, right? He just became the sheriff to bring the person to be put up in front of the jury, right? To find out what the result will ultimately be. I have a funny feeling they're going to convict this man. He hasn't been booted yet, right? He hasn't been booted yet. So now let's talk about Minnesota. Get back to my breaking news. Oh, good. Look at this. See, my whole camera, everything got messed up. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. This is going to be so annoying. My face is cut off. What the hell is going on here, folks? What the hell? Good gracious. Because this is one of the largest government fraud scandals in modern U.S. history, we need to make sure that you guys can see my face, right? The fraud didn't just happen overnight. It happened because oversight was removed. Why was oversight removed? Oh, that's right. Ilhan Omar, the woman that married her brother. That's right. Accountability was mocked and ideology replaced basic governance. All you had to do to scare the government of Minnesota is threaten to call them racist, and oh my gosh, tail between the legs. You can take whatever you want, just don't call me racist. I'm the white guy, the bald white guy, and they don't want to be called racist in America. Because we told everybody, did you guys hear of Maduro? What did he use? He used the same words that all the liberals are using, didn't he not? Fascist, right? What was he calling his opposition? It's so funny that the opposition is always a fascist, right? But yet the people that are screaming fascist are the actual fascists. Anyways, the fraud didn't happen overnight. It happened because oversight was removed, accountability was mocked, and ideology replaced basic governance. Governor Tim Walz didn't just miss, he presided over it. Billions in taxpayer money, shell organization, nonprofit with no real oversight? What? And now criminals' charges keep coming? Hundreds that are going to be charged by the time this is all said and done? Here's what's important. Tim Walz's political career is it's over. Whether he chose not to seek another term or was quietly pushed out is irrelevant. The damage is done. The question is, who's next? The mayor? More agency heads? More nonprofit operators? This scandal is still unfolding, and every new arrest confirms that independent investigators and journalists have been saying all along, this wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a systematic failure. This was straight fraud upon the people perpetrated by those that were paid to protect us. Let's be honest. And the public deserves to know exactly what happened and who enabled it. And right now, all we are getting is lies. Lies after lies after lies. What happened? Well, I will tell you, Nick Sordo, I gotta put this up. Well, he went to Tim Walz's home. Let me pause this here. Let's go back up because I think it's important that we read what he posts. You know, we like Nick. Nick went to Oregon, right? To Portland. He got arrested, right? He pulled a Betty. Didn't he break any laws but got arrested? So if you guys want to know what kind of law Sumner County is practicing, it sounds like they're practicing some of that Portland, Oregon law there in that red county. Interesting. We are live, he says, live outside of Tim Walz's residence, anxiously awaiting the smoke to rise from the governor's mansion's chimney, signaling the new retard has been said that a new retard has been selected. I'm sorry, that's funny. I know you guys. Some of you guys are like, Betty, that word. It's offensive. Okay, well, you are on the Bullhorn Betty show. Literally half of everything that comes out of my mouth is offensive. So there is that. I'm just saying. This comes amid reports Tim Walz will be dropping his 2026 re-election campaign today. He's dropping out. The word R word is not necessary. But you know they do it just to piss him off. Like, that's what they're doing. They're doing this stuff because people are so offended by every blessed thing. You know, it's just like me and the OK sign, right? When I went around the whole entire state of Florida flashing OK signs, everybody's like, that's white power. You're racist. I'm like, so a sign makes me racist, not the fact that I treat everybody equally. And if you're an asshole to me, I'm an asshole to you. And I don't really care what color you come in to be an asshole to me. I'm an equal opportunity asshole. You know? And so I'm sorry, but I feel like they're using that word kind of like I use the OK symbol, like, you know, like F you. If you're that offended, you know, F you. I mean, because that's what I did. Every time we turned around, you'd see me throwing up an okay sign. Everybody's like, oh my God, Betty's racist! Betty's racist! That racist white girl! Really? But you're the one that had to use the word white? Huh. Interesting. I talk about the dude, right? If you guys need to know what flavor he is, well, you know, it might be caramel, might be chocolate, might be a little bit of yellow bird over there, big bird, red bird. I don't know. Right? And then when you ask them, they're going to be like, I don't know, it was a hunky bitch. You know, just a short little crazy wiry hair bitch, you know, the one, you know, with a bullhorn. Right? Okay. Anyways, he's dropping his 2026 campaign today, apparently, due to the inability to stop canoodling with the Somalis. Trump rally music is echoing through the streets, surprisingly, causing Minnesota police to ditch walls and go home. Stay tuned. I'm sorry. I love trolls. I love trolling when it's our trolls, okay? I'm sorry. I do. I don't like it when it's everybody else's troll, because, you know, we've been trolled so much over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. You know, I don't know. Is that coming off of you? Is that coming off here? It is. Every time. Is it showing up? I'm putting this over here. This better stay on here. Look at that. I move it over here and it gets up. Look at this. Isn't this the weirdest thing? And then I move it back over here and it gets back into place. That is insane. Well, don't want to offend nobody. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that everybody is so fearful to be called racist? Oh, let me do this. Oh, we got to turn this off. Is the music off? We'll keep this going up behind my head. Why not? I mean, I don't see why we can't. You know? We'll just have this on the reel. There we go. There we go, Mr. Walls. We'll just keep doing this. I kind of like it. I think I can hang. We can do this. It's probably going to jack up my system a little bit. I mean, we'll know when YouTube's tired of it. They'll say, Betty, you can't move. You can't breathe. Come on. Oh, wrong one. Green screen. I'm a little... Today was a very stressful day for me. Oh, my goodness. It started out amazing, too. Like, everything was just firing. Like, everything was going boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, man, today... I even went over and told Glenn. I'm like, man... I said, I've been up since like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Because, you know, I got to play with Delilah in the bed for a half hour, 45 minutes. Otherwise, she gets a little cranky. And so, like, the day was already going great. I went over. I had already made some clam chowder for earlier yesterday for today. Because I like it to marry overnight before I heat it all up. And so I'm rocking and rolling. I mean, I got my stuff done for tomorrow. I've got all of this stuff researched for today. I know exactly how we're going to be talking. You guys are not, you want to talk about being offended? You guys are going to be super offended when we get down to our last story, because I'm going to be kind of really, I'm going to be almost, I mean, in part victim blaming. Right, in part, but it's not. You know, no victim ever should ever. Nobody asks for this, right? They have good hearts, but it talks about the bleeding hearts, and it's a good article that I drafted this morning, and you know, well, I started drafting it last night, and then I finalized it this morning, and I just had to do a couple of other things and do a thumbnail. So I prepared a thumbnail and got it off. But I have a funny feeling it might offend some people. But it is what it is. I offend people. I don't offend people. You know, we all have to grow, right? We all have to grow, and we need to hear other certain sides that we don't necessarily want to hear. But in the Tim Walz situation, I mean, I get it. Nobody really likes to be called an artard, but at the end of the day, he's an artard. I'm sorry, he is. I mean, anybody that allows people to rob $18 billion from you because you're scared to be called a freaking word, then you deserve to be called a word. And he's worried about racist. Well, the rest of us are just going to call him an artard until he's so freaking highly offended and looks like a complete idiot that he cries. Like, I want to see Tim Walz cry. You stole $18 billion from people, dude. Like, you deserve to cry. Who deserves a raise after that? You deserve to be fired. We need to start being able, you know what, the American people need to force our politicians to start putting in some parameters so we can start recalling people. When we have a terrible governor, we shouldn't be stuck with that terrible governor for 4 years. You know, if we find out that we do not like who we voted for, or they lied to us to get the position and then they turned on us, we should have every rights to go after them and to overthrow them and throw them out of office. We the people. Because they work for us. I mean, I don't think other politicians should be able to do that, but I absolutely believe that we the people should have every right to remove anybody from office that we don't like. We should not have to sit around for 4 years until a new election. We should have a right to go in there if we have enough people, enough votes, and enough signatures and say, you are fired. Get the hell out of here. And right now, the American people don't have that ability, and we should. We are the bosses. And they won't vote for this stuff because it gives us the power and takes the power away from our government. So we need to be finding people that are willing to restore power back to us. That was one of the selling points for me and Donald Trump. He was trying to give us the power back that had been stolen from us. I got on board immediately. I was on board immediately. We deserved to have our rights restored. And that's one of the reasons why I am absolutely gung-ho. But liberal media, which is shocking, even liberal media, is calling out Tim Walz over the fraud scandal. That's pretty much why his campaign is effectually ended. Nobody's going to trust him and nobody's going to support him. He's lost the support and the confidence of his state.
Stricter SNAP qualifications across the U.S. as Minnesota fraud scandals unravel under Governor Tim Walz. They say, quote, Walz's boondoggle underlines the need for serious reforms across America. Too bad that too many progressive leaders are lackadaisical at best about cracking down on fraud and errors, lest it curtail social services.
Joining us now is
from
senior
the
writer for the Washington
Post.
Examiner and Fox News.
From the Post. From the Washington Post. Washington Post is a pretty liberal-leaning paper, news organization or whatever you want to call them. And for them to be calling out the progressives, which they have, this is big.
Contributor Joe Concha. Joe, SNAP is the fourth most likely for fraud of federal programs. Your reaction to the Washington Post editorial board?
Well, you got to wonder, guys, if Governor Tim Walz will blame white supremacy for the Washington Post editorial board. Not exactly a bastion of conservative sentiment. An editorial board has never endorsed a Republican presidential candidate in its history, by the way. They're now even calling out Walz and other Minnesota state leaders, and rightly, because now you got to look at all the pressure from federal government under Donald Trump and what he's doing in putting the pressure on Minnesota, and rightly.
He pulled federal funds. And listen to this. They did not just pull federal funds from Washington. When it comes to the daycare benefits, which, again, I'm going to stand on my platform. And if you guys get the benefits, God bless you for getting them. But if it was up to me, you guys wouldn't get them. Okay? Whether you love Betty or hate Betty, maybe I'm giving you a reason to hate me. Maybe I'm giving you I don't know. At the end of the day, if you can get it and the government allows it, obviously get the benefits that you can get from the government. Me personally, I will never support the taxpayers ever paying for somebody's child care. Okay, period. That is not even in my wheelhouse. Don't ever come to Betty and ask for a favor on taxpayer dimes. And now, if we have some philanthropy, we have some nonprofit organizations that support or help bridge some of those gaps. I love that. I love private partnerships, with public-private partnerships where they're getting grants from our federal government and they're the ones, giving people the benefit or the vouchers for the daycare and stuff like that. I'm totally for that. Okay? I'm totally for that. I'm not in where our government is supplying money to states on a federal level for childcare. I'm not okay with that at all. Okay? Period. I will never be on board with that. Ever. Just FYI.
Given the billions of dollars that were stolen, allegedly, by members of the Somali community for many years. HHS has now cut off all child care funds. The Department of Agriculture...
Not just there, again, all throughout all the states. They ruined it for all of the states. Like, all the states have been cut off without proper proof.
Are now investigating SNAP. The Labor Department is now investigating unemployment insurance fraud, and Homeland Security, Justice Department...
Unemployment and insurance fraud? Guys, this is hitting every aspect of our country. They have no shame. These fraudsters literally have no shame. Hey, Steffers! Morning, love bug. I hope you're doing well. Have no shame.
They're now executing search warrants in a door-to-door fashion. This is a full-court press. And I'll leave it here, by the way. Betting markets are now saying that Governor Tim Walz, again, a vice presidential candidate with Kamala Harris in 2024, not too long ago,
and I want to tell you, listen, I'm gonna state my conspiracy theorist. Theory. The two people that were up on the short list for VP was Josh Shapiro, right after the attempted execution of Donald J. Trump in his state. Which you guys know how I felt about that. I always believed Josh Shapiro was involved somehow with that. I will always believe that to the day I die. And then he came up on the short list and Tim Walz, and I never understood why Tim Walz was on the short list. Never even couldn't figure out why she picked Tim Walz until this fraud was exposed. And then it dawned on me. Kamala needed money more than she needed a dead president. If Josh Shapiro had successfully executed Donald J. Trump in his state, he would have been the next VP. But he failed. He failed at that job, and and Tim Walz was successful at relieving $18 billion from his state. And the one thing that Kamala needed after she couldn't get her dead president, of course, is money. And he was tapped into the biggest fraud rink and circus in the United States. So now we know why Kamala's choices were Josh Shapiro, of all people, and Tim Walz. I guarantee it would have been Josh Shapiro if he was successful with Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. I guarantee you he would have been on the ticket if Donald Trump would have lost his life in his state. That's how sick our government is. So when we come up, and I haven't even started coming back here on Melissa Hortman, we're not even circling back on Melissa Hortman yet. We're going to. That's how disgusting and crazy. But we knew this, right? We know about Hillary Clinton. We know about all the dead bodies around her. We know it's awfully funny that there's some dead bodies around Obama as well. Why are there so many dead bodies that turn up around the Democrat Party? Where are the dead bodies on the Republican side? I'm just asking. I mean, I can sit here and think of 30 bodies that were associated with the Clintons and other high-ranking officials that are now deceased by a bunch of crazy reasons. But we don't have that same problem on the Republican side. People need to start looking at it. They're like, oh, that's not true.
He now has a 30 times more chance of being indicted than he does of winning the presidency. The way this is going at this point, Nate, I think you might as well put that at 30,000 times at this point.
You know, Joe, honestly, this system, it just needs to be cleaned up. And I know this is, I don't know if this is going to sound good or bad, but maybe this needed to happen at such an obscene level for people to realize how much these programs are being taken advantage of. Because
we all knew it. We all knew these programs are being taken advantage. You're going to try to tell me that every American in this country knew that these programs were being taken advantage of, except our really smart government? You know, the government that's smarter than we, the people, that knows better for us than what we know for ourselves? You mean those smart a-holes? Those smart a-holes? They don't know? But they know everything. Don't they? They know everything. They know where to go find bin Laden in the middle of nowhere. They know how to go kick in Madura's front door right? With a whole bunch of military. But you're telling me my government doesn't know that there's a shit ton of fraud going on. I call.
That was bullshit.
Oh, and
All I can say is it's totally fake news. It's just fake. It's fake. It's made up stuff. You are fake news. Honestly, it's fake news. It's fake. That would be another example of, as you say, fake news.
Retaliating against the United States over the approved arms deal with Taiwan, sanctioning 20 major American defense firms. Companies include Northrop Grumman, L3 Harris, Boeing in St. Louis, Gibbs & Cox Incorporated, VSE Corporation, and more. All assets held by these companies in China will be frozen, and they will be banned from doing business in the country.
Woo-hoo-hoo! U.S. defense firm sanctioned by China. By China. Just remember, China needs us a hell of a lot more than we will ever need China.
Now, this is the Pentagon sounds the alarm over China's latest military developments to take Taiwan with brute force. Beijing is rapidly advancing its weaponry and military capabilities to conquer the island by 2027. Joining me now, Gaystone Institute senior fellow Gordon Chang. Gordon, China announced it's conducting Justice Mission 2025 drills around Taiwan. That starts tomorrow. There had been a Pentagon report released last week that suggested that there were concerns within the political side of China that maybe 2027 was not the right year to invade Taiwan, but that some in the military believed that maybe it should be sooner.
Wow, so it looks like we're going to be dealing with another military war in operation when China goes into Taiwan, which I know that they've been fighting with them for years, but I didn't know that they are literally talking publicly about the invasion. So it looks like we're going to have another invasion in Taiwan. I can't. We're not going to watch all of this. We're bringing up Alec Murdaugh here because we are going to be in South Carolina on February 11th. We've been at every single aspect of the Alec Murdaugh case. We were out there at the property. We were one of the rare journalists that got an opportunity to go behind the gates and get some footage from there. I've been to every single one of his hearings. I was there when he was convicted for the murder of his wife and son. I was there for the financial crimes. I was there for the auction. I was there for the Supreme Court hearing for the first round where we found out that the clerk was lying through her teeth. We've been literally every aspect of this case, the Alex Murdaugh case. Bullhorn Betty channel has been associated, affiliated, and somehow involved in every aspect since this story broke. So for me not to be at the Supreme Court when he goes before there to try to get a new trial, it would be foolish because we're only 8 to 10 hours away from the courthouse. So I will be going to that hearing. I will be there. The Real Me Too was with me the last time. I don't know if she'll be the Real Me Too and who else did Paralegal Liz. Paralegal Liz was also with me. So Paralegal Liz, if you come across this on the replay crew or whatever, make sure you get a hold of me if you are planning on going to that as well, so we can kind of coordinate. And other people, if you guys are going to be in South Carolina going to this, you're going to need to coordinate with me, folks. Okay? So just a quick important update. Like I said, we will be in South Carolina on February 11th in person for the next Alec Murdaugh hearing. This case continues to raise serious questions about influence, corruption, and how long power can shield someone before truly finally breaks through. Being there matters, courtroom presence matters, independent coverage matters, and we will bring you firsthand reporting and not filtered headlines. Now we're going to move over to the just a second. We're going to be moving over to the Uvalde case, but I need to pull up a video for the Uvalde case, and I don't know if I've got the video ready. I need to find the one with my second. I guess none of them have it, so I'll just put it on this one. Oh, there it is. Ooh, I do have another one. Perfect. I got a screen capture too. Let me get this one. Oh, I don't want to discard that. Cancel. I want a freaking property. Discard change. It's fine. Discard the jam changes. Good gracious. There it is. All right, guys. Let me put this up here. This up here. We're going to have to squeeze it in just ever so we can get it all so you guys can see it. Yeah, we'll put it down here into breaking news for the people over there on the there we go. Perfect. All right. I'm going to mute myself.
I was not prepared for the emotions that I felt coming out here. I can't explain it, but it's this emotion and sorrow that just comes over you. This right here. Beautiful children, innocent children, lost their lives. As you can see, it is still here, and these beautiful memorials are still here in Texas. They had a scathing report, a 77-page report that outlined the failures of the Uvalde Police Department. Nor did they name a lot of the other people in it. The family has come out. They're upset that the officers, all the officers, were not listed in that report. They also were upset that the Texas Department of Justice did not recommend charges for the officers. As of recently, January of 2024, it appears that a grand jury is being convened for the officers that waited entirely too long to breach the school and neutralize the situation.
So there was my visit to the Uvalde area, and I believe I did that back in 2022, possibly 2022, 2023. It was right. It was when I went to the area. 2024. So in 2024, February 18, 2024, we were in Uvalde. Not weeks later, not months later, but, quite a significant time later, when we made it there. What we saw and what we documented do not match the sanitized narratives that follow. The failure was real, the pain was real, and the accountability is still missing. Our footage from the scene shows reality that the families were left with while officials deflected and delayed. This was not a tragedy. It was a cascading institutional failure. And until lessons are actually learned, these events will continue to happen. I'm not sure why there's such a massive amount of disgruntled young folks. But this was another 20-something that did not know how to handle life, did not know how to handle rejection, did not know how to handle things not going their way, and ultimately took that out on a bunch of innocent children that person had no idea or knowledge about. He did not know these students. His mother or grandmother had worked at the school years and years ago, no longer worked there. There was no reason for him to be there, but he just wanted to hurt people. And what is putting that in our young people's minds, just to hurt people? Something's putting that into their mind, just to hurt people. But our footage from the scene is the reality, like I said, that the families have to live with. You saw those 19 crosses. I can tell you, that was emotional for me. The tears coming down my face were not scripted or anything like that. That happened while I was sitting there. The emotion came over me. And it's hard to explain that because it's even after all of that time, it's still very, very, very emotional to be there and to see what is going on. But I want to make sure that you guys get an opportunity to hear as well.
It's with sad news today that I am picking up where my fellow friends on YouTube left off last night. We are covering Salvador Ramos, the shooter at Robb Elementary School, which was only 2 minutes away from his home at 820 South Hyde Street in Uvalde, Texas.
And he stole, of course, the truck. The truck was not his, and from my understanding, he didn't even know how to drive. But he gets out of the truck with the long arm in his hand, walking toward the school. Nobody stopped him. 77 minutes. Law enforcement was so chicken-crapped that they sat outside of a school while they listened to those little kids, one by one, screaming in horror. Never went into the school. I didn't want to face what they were taught to face. That's why they're being prosecuted. They didn't do their job and people lost their lives. I can't express how horrible this is.
Hi y'all, just wanted to show you, this is the most likely the route that Salvador Ramos took to get to Robb Elementary School. He lives.
This was like 3 years ago. I keep forgetting what I used to do 3 years ago. I remember I used to go and research all this stuff. I have to start doing that again.
Here. And went here. This is a 2-minute drive from his home.
Nobody could stop him. Nobody could stop him. So let's just hear a little bit more about this.
This coming week, tomorrow morning, jury selection begins in the trial of Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a former Uvalde CISD police officer who was indicted in 2024 regarding the mass shooting at Robb Elementary. He is the only officer besides former Uvalde CISD Chief Pete Arredondo to be charged. Erica Hernandez is in Corpus now and is joining us live. Erica, what's the feeling like out there as this major trial will be watched closely?
You know, JP, right now it's like the calm before the storm. It's very quiet out here in Corpus Christi right now, but tomorrow a different scene expected, as we're being told anywhere from 400 to 600 potential jurors are expected to walk into the Nueces County Courthouse tomorrow morning, and then bring that down to 12 as they begin the jury selection process. As far as the case, so Gonzalez is facing 29 counts of abandoning and endangering a child.
Abandoning and endangering a child. And it's sad. Again, this guy was not the one that shot up this school. This guy is not the one that had hate in his heart for those children or the teachers or anything. This is an unfortunate circumstance, okay? Do I believe this man should be 20 or 30 years behind bars? Of course not. He didn't do this. But he also didn't act when it was knocking on his door. When he was being paid to protect those children, he did not protect those children. As a matter of fact, he cowardly hid and didn't jump into action. Cowardly. While children, babies. I can't even go through this. It's going to start upsetting me. So this is kind of why we're here. Do I think he did something wrong? Yes. Do I think he needs to pay for that? Yes, I do. Do I think he needs to be in jail for years and years and years? He had to have loved these kids. I mean, I would have fear does a lot of things to you. And until you're put in a position like that, you don't know how your body is going to react. And I can tell you that in a lot of times, your body can just freeze. It can just freeze. You can't move it. You're in shock. And we don't know if that was the situation. And, he didn't protect and serve either. And that's going to be the problem that we have. But we also have to be a little gracious, folks, because humans are humans. And, our law enforcement is trained not to freeze up. They're trained not to go into shock, and they're trained to run toward the danger, not away from the danger. That's what we train our officers to do. But also, until you're in that situation, all I'm saying is, this was a pretty dangerous scene. I don't want to think of him as a coward, which I kind of do, but I know that in situations like this, it's scary. And when you're scared, your body can freeze. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he should not be held accountable. I'm not saying he did not, do things wrong. I'm just saying that we don't know what the body does. We talk about it all the time. The pressures, you got to think of yourself. If you were in the same situation, you might be paralyzed to breathe, to move. When we saw those officers go into that class when they had that mass casualty event that they just recently had at that college, what was it, Brown, whatever. Remember, the officers went in there and said, breathe, right? Because you're so scared and you're so paralyzed that you essentially forget to actually breathe yourself. And a lot of people can pass out because of that. And you don't even realize you're not doing it. It's just that you're in shock. So I'm not giving this guy a pass by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just giving you guys a different perspective to look at. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be up to a judge and a jury on the outcome of this man. Do I believe he did wrong? I do. Do I believe he should be jailed for a lengthy jail time? I'm sorry, I just don't, Hey, Happy Cappy, it's nice to see you. I just don't. I believe when people intent is to hurt people, those people need to go to jail for a really long time. When you fail to act and somebody gets hurt, just much like the father of Jonathan Bully. Again, his father didn't hurt him. His father was neglectful, and he lost his life because of the negligence. His heart is breaking. I guarantee his father is he has a pain in his body and soul that nobody can take away from that man right now. He's probably ashamed of himself. He's probably, looking at the four walls of jail, and, he's probably never been there. He's a military guy. This is serious stuff for him. Do I think he deserves to be in jail forever and ever? Amen. I do not. Even though a child lost his life. Accidents happen all the time. Negligence happens all the time. It's not okay. I'm not giving it a free pass, but I also believe in fairness, fairness when you're before a judge. Not everything requires, 10, 15, 20 years, double-digit sentences. It's about making sure the person never does it again. Okay? It's about, hey, Freeside, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. So just remember that. This is Uvalde. You guys are just coming in. We've got, jury selection for the school resource officer in the Uvalde case. He's being charged with failing to act in 29, basically 29 people. 19 of them lost their life and 10 of them were seriously injured. But they're doing a jury selection on that right now for the CISD officer in the Robb school shooting response.
We spoke with Bexar County Criminal District Court Judge Ron Rangel, who better explained to us what this charge is and what we can possibly see for this trial coming up.
The reality of it is the pressure is going to be immense.
Judge Ron Rangel is no stranger to high-profile cases involving former officers, but in looking at the indictment for the case against Adrian Gonzalez, he believes this one is unique.
I've never myself seen this type of a charge used in this way. They're based.
And they're going to have to overcome some things in this trial, because you got to understand, these are usually, this is an officer working for the school with no intent of harm to any of these kids, and they're basically, going after them with this charge. So this is going to be very interesting. Are they going to be able and be successful? And my only concern about this is, are people's emotions too raw in their area? Would this be ripe for a venue change? But I think at this point it's too late. And is it a venue change? Are they still in the county in Uvalde, or did they do a venue change? I would have thought that if an officer of this county was going before this county, that his defense attorney would have absolutely demanded a venue change, because this is very emotional in that community. But I haven't been monitoring it, and we might find out that they did a venue change and this isn't a new venue. So we'll find that out.
Basically trying to use the law in a way that helps them bring this charge forth. Whether or not it can be successful remains to be seen.
The indictment itself accuses Gonzalez of failing to engage, distract, or delay the shooter before entering Robb Elementary on May 24, 2022. The charge itself is only state jail felony, the lowest degree when it comes to a felony.
The maximum time that a defendant can serve under this type of an indictment would be up to 2 years in prison.
And that to me, if he's indicted, is reasonable. Okay, I'm just going to let you guys know that. Corpus Christi. Okay, good. Thank you. So they did do a venue change. And again, there's a lot of hurdles, and I can hear what this judge is saying. This is a very unique type of case that they're bringing for this officer. This is going to be precedent setting. So they're either going to have enough teeth in it to get it across the finish line and hold this officer accountable, or this officer is going to walk. I don't believe that this officer ever intended to hurt any children, but effectively, he failed to act. What say you? I really don't know.
Minimum 6 months. Theoretically, he would be probation eligible if he is found guilty, which means he could get probation for anywhere from 2 years up to 5 years.
Which I think would be appropriate. I don't want to see this man, I believe in humans as well, right? And so I truly believe that people, some people punish themselves more than anybody else could ever punish them. And I can tell you, just by looking at this man's face, he saw these kids every day. He saw those people every day. I can't, he went from having a happy, normal life to this. I can't imagine being put in this. And again, guys, I want to put this into perspective. He failed to act. He didn't fail to love. He didn't fail to care. He failed to act, which is a problem. But again, I want to say that there's no excuse for this, but in all fairness, I have no place to move on this. I can't condemn this guy because I don't know what his body did, and I know that the situation had been so scary. And he's trained to deal with the scariness of it, but it doesn't change the fact he's still a human being. Most cops never, ever, ever have to deal with all of this. And when it's approaching you or when it's on your front door, knocking at your front door, how are you going to act? I would like to think that I would jump into gear right away and start helping or fighting or willing to put my life on the line to stop whatever's going on. I would hope that that's who I believe I am as a person. I would hope that would come out of me at that moment. But who's to say? Who's to say that that's what I would do? Who's to say? And I feel bad. Those kids should never have all those. I mean, we knew that there were going to be, this was a mass, this was babies. And to see all those officers standing outside of the school when they should have been going into the school and knowing that this just, it was just disgusting. It was the worst of policing that we've ever seen in the history of our country in Uvalde, Texas. It really was. Okay. You can't give it, you can't, we can say whatever we want to say, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is that was the worst I've ever seen. It was a total shit show, and all law enforcement should have been ashamed of themselves that were there on the scene, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? So what does that equate into accountability? That's where my position is. And 2 years probation, I'm fine with that, okay? He was not the one that did this to these children. He was a victim as well, and we need to remember that. Is he partly culpable for the failing to act? Yes, of course he is. But he's not a criminal. I want to make sure that we set the tone here. He was somebody that was there around those kids every day. He loved those kids. So let's just make sure we're telling you guys and setting the tone here, because the tone needs to be set. This guy is not a criminal, okay? And right now, had this monster not come to the school, he would still be around all those kids. He is a victim as well. Let's not forget that, okay? Just please, just show him some grace. I know we're all angry. I'm angry too. But again, he did not do this. He did not do this to those kids. He did not bring that monster to that school. He did not do this. He was put in a position, and he failed to act appropriately when put in that position. That's his crime. Okay? How many children could have been saved, though, regardless? I agree with that. But you got to remember, I'm all about the brain and the body. If somebody can tell me that he wasn't frozen or he wasn't in shock, maybe I'll feel a little bit differently. But I'm having to assume those things in order to make this guy a bad guy in my mind. Good people can make terrible decisions and make mistakes that get them in hot water and still be great people. And I think that this is going to be one of those such people that we're going to have to give a stink eye for failing to act, but know that he is not the cause of all this. We have to remember that. We want people to blame when things don't work out right, okay? I don't want him being the scapegoat, okay? We got to remember we had, what was that guy's name? The one that, the crackhead that, got killed and had the gold coffin and whatever. Whatever. You guys know who I'm talking about. They made a big place out there in Washington, whatever, for him. The Chavez guy, the officer that, went to jail, and the guy died of a drug overdose. I want to make sure, no matter how you look at this, whether the procedure for that guy was wrong and he had his knee on the guy's back, his intent wasn't to hurt the suspect. His intent wasn't to roughhouse the suspect. He was just trying to keep the suspect down so they could administer the handcuffs. Nobody knew that he was on all these substances at the time that he was arrested, right? And now we have an officer in jail for executing his duties as an officer. I just don't want that to be George Floyd. That's it. Thank you, little orange man. The George Floyd case, right? That officer, did he do a complete proper police protocol? Apparently not. But it was protocol that used to be taught to them. So for them to have a mistake like that is understandable. But to charge that man with murder and throw him in jail when he was just doing his job, that's bullshit, right? This guy here did not do his job. That's the problem, right? He failed to act, right? He failed to act. So to what extent is his culpability in that? He didn't bring the gun. He didn't go and hurt those children. Ramos did that, right? Ramos did that. Salvatore Ramos did that. So what's his culpability for failing to act? And could people have been saved? Yeah, there's something that could be saved, that, maybe a child or two or maybe more could have been saved, but there's no guarantee that that would have been the case. There's no guarantee that as soon as he approached, he would have not been one of the victims as well. So, we have to let this kind of roll. We're angry about the lack of action from law enforcement, and we can all say that we are angry with the lack of action from law enforcement, and somebody needs to be held accountable. We can agree with that. To what extent, that can be up for debate at a later date. All right, guys, moving on. Last story, and this one here is going to be one of those stories where I believe you guys are going to be very upset with me when I cover this story, because in all fairness, it's going to be kind of a Kata Scott type of conversation point. Okay, if you guys have not hit me up on Substack, I hope that you guys do go and hit up my Substack. I do write some articles for Substack. And it's a free newsletter. I don't charge you guys anything. I'm building the thing. If we get a lot of people there, will I eventually change it to a paid program or have some paid content? Maybe. But right now, it's free of charge. So I'm not, and not only that, but I have the option. I may be able to, charge for an article, not charge for this article. You get to pick each time you upload. But right now, I'm making sure that everyone can see it, whether you're a paid subscriber or a non-paid subscriber. Votes have consequences, folks. We've been talking and touching on North Carolina for a little while about the plethora of people that they allow out of their jails that have multi-violent, double-digit violent crimes against them, and they are never held accountable. We showcased almost 2 to 3 daily, just a few months ago, daily, of people being let out of North Carolina jails and going off and killing or seriously injuring other people after being let out for the 50th millionth time. It happened so bad, and it was so widespread in the state of North Carolina that they had to enact Irina's law to stop the judges from doing this because it was killing their citizens, which, by the way, I think the judges should be charged with attempted murder. I do. I think all the judges that allowed these violent animals out to wreak havoc on their citizens should be charged with attempted murder. I do not play. There's legal elements. I've looked at it. These judges could be charged with attempted murder. Why have they not been charged with attempted murder? I don't know. These judges, let me repeat this again, need to start being charged with attempted murder. I'm telling you, I speak very, very loudly on these issues, very, very loudly on a lot of issues in a lot of different places. And I know people look at me sometimes side-eye and whatnot, but I will be heard on that matter right there, because something has got to happen with these judges. They've got to be held accountable and on a criminal level. We need to rip their license and prevent them from ever being able to work in law again. Period. So this final segment is, again, very difficult for us to go over and discuss because we're taking a different direction. And this is the case of Zoe Welsh. Zoe Welsh was a North Carolina teacher who was killed by someone with an extensive criminal history. That criminal history did not appear by accident. It was a result of policies. Policies that reduced sentencing, policies that favored the release over protection, policies that were voted into place. Zoe Welsh was a Democrat. She voted for the very policies that created the condition that allowed her killer to be on the streets to kill her. It's not about blame. It's about the reality of the situation. At the end of the day, votes matter, policy matters, and when we disconnect compassion from accountability, innocent people pay the ultimate price. This case is not just a crime story. It is a policy autopsy. And if we don't start being honest about that, more names will be added to the list. So now I want to go over why I wrote this article. I didn't write this article to condemn Zoe or teachers in general, but it is to show you that their policies that they've had took her life from her. She voted for this. She wanted these bad guys out on the streets. She had a bleeding heart. This violent criminal broke into her home and while she was on the phone with 911, killed her. It was all captured on the 911 call. Thank you, because I'm a love machine. Robin gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships, don't forget to tell Robin thank you. For those that received your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket in your padded room and welcome aboard, because this is not.
You know why? Fake news.
Not fake news. Not fake news, because we are not a what?
You're a liar!
Just FYI. Just FYI. Thank you, guys. Thank you. How to change my pick a name. Aw, Chihuahua. Oh, I love Chihuahuas. I do now anyways, because I got a Delilah. I got a Delilah.
Breaking into a local woman's home and killing her this morning. We confirmed just within the last few minutes that she was a teacher at Ravenscroft School. Ryan Camacho is now in custody. WR's Kirsten Clark is live in the neighborhood where all of this happened. Kirsten, some really...
And I want to let you know, I personally checked her voting record to make sure that I wasn't putting incorrect information. And as a matter of fact, I had to argue with ChatGPT because I told Chat how I wanted to discuss this case, and it was arguing with me, telling me I could not prove that she was a Democrat. So it made me take a screenshot and post up. And she said, oh, well, now that you've got that and I can see clearly, I feel like I had Mother Goose, and it's ChatGPT, one of the programs I play money to, arguing with me. I keep trying to tell the damn thing it's not my producer. I'm just saying. Trying to take over my life. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, guys. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for the love and support. Today's been a shitty day. I will be honest with you. Today is not my day. Like the first half an hour of the show, we weren't even live. The first half an hour of this show, we weren't even live. It was crazy. It was crazy. So let's get to it.
Chilling details about this case coming out.
Eric, this is a very sad case. You mentioned there Ravenscroft School confirming that the victim, her name is Zoe Welsh, was a teacher actually in the upper school, science teacher there at Ravenscroft School, them saying that this is just a devastating loss for their...
And I heard that she was very nice too, just to let you know. So this statement here has nothing to do with her personality. It has nothing to do with her being an amazing teacher. I guarantee all of those things that you're hearing about this beautiful lady are absolutely true, okay? But at the end of the day, we cannot miss the big picture here. And it's exactly why I will not cover Kata Scott, because her parents are voting for the policies that got their daughter unalived, okay? I don't play those games. And this is another example. This woman was all in, okay? She was all in for the letting people out, trying to, be kind to criminals. See where it's gotten her, right? It made her a target. And she was ultimately unalived because of the policies she supported and voted for. These people that are voting and supporting for these policies are becoming victims of their own policies, folks. This is not okay. I do not want you guys being victims of this. You can say a lot of things about me, but I love people. I do love people. I may get a little brash and I may go overboard on political topics, but I love people. I don't care whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. At the end of the day, I want to make sure that you can thrive in society first and foremost. All the other stuff is just noise. Okay? But when your own policies are killing you, somebody has to stand up and show you guys that your own policies are killing you.
Community. Now we're here near Clay Street. This is where Raleigh police tell us that Welsh lived. I'm going to step out of the way. This is not far from Broughton High School, this area, but this home here that is fenced in, you can see there's yellow tape blocking off the area. Raleigh police officers are still here as well.
Did I say JC's name? You don't want to hear on I'm just letting you know, Tulips, you don't want to hear what I said behind the scenes when the whole damn computer went down. I'm sure we'd all been on our knees praying for Betty today. You guys did not want to hear the stuff. I was pissed. I was condemning this and condemning that and F this and F that. But Betty sure was. You guys might even have got it caught on a hot mic, too. You might want to go back and check. I'm pretty sure I lit it up. I'm just saying. Bless you, Tulips.
Well as the Wake County Bureau of Forensic Services still here investigating. The police department says that Welsh called 911 around 6:30 this morning to report that a man was in her home on Clay Street. While still on the phone, that man, that's Ryan Camacho, is accused of attacking her. Welsh.
And I just want to remind you, again, probably somebody that didn't believe in the Second Amendment, but if she had a loaded gun, guess what? She wouldn't have been a victim either. She could have pointed that gun at the suspect and went kaboom. He would never even have been able to get within an arm's reach of her to unalive her. Again, policies.
Died at the hospital. Now, Raleigh Police Chief Rico Boyce released a statement about the killing, saying, "I am deeply heartbroken for this mother, friend, and mentor to many in our community, and for the unimaginable trauma her family must endure."
Well, you can, if you really care about her trauma and the stuff her family's enduring, maybe you guys can protest the judge that allowed her murderer to flee justice umpteen million times. You guys could do that. You guys could just turn your back on the whole situation or stick your head in the sand like ostriches. I mean, it's been working for you so well this whole entire time anyways, right? The courts are responsible for this. The bleeding hearts in this community are responsible for this, and unfortunately the victim happens to be one of those bleeding hearts. Because of her policies that she supports, she's now deceased and her family has to bury her. I just want to put that into perspective for all my audience. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. Votes matter. Policies matter. So if today's show made you uncomfortable, that means it was necessary. Accountability doesn't care about party affiliation. Victims don't care about ideology, and due process only works if we defend it consistently. If you value independent reporting, courtroom transparency, real accountability, make sure you share the show, support the work, and stay engaged. I am Bullhorn Betty. I covered true crime. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that share button. And don't forget to come back tomorrow. God bless each and every one of you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. And before we close out, I want to go here and thank our sponsors for today, because you guys are blessed. And if you guys are blessed, that means Betty's blessed. And when Betty's blessed, well, I would say I'm still blessed, but I was cussing a lot this morning off screen. I will tell you that. I don't know if I can. Oh my. Well, thank you guys. I missed a lot. So Melanie says, happy Monday, Betty, Delilah, Mods, chat. I hope you have a good day. Well, my day's getting better. I don't know if we started out with a good day, but the day's getting better. Sending love to Sonia. Aw, Sonia, big hug. I know I probably stressed Sonia out. I love her. Let them 66. Oh, thank you. Happy Monday, everyone. Much love, BHB, Delilah, chat, mods, prayer, and love to Sonia. Hope Aw, Sonia, you're so loved in here. That makes my heart go pity patter. Aw, love that. And then you come in here and do something amazing. I know I needed some coffee. Today was just frustrating. I mean, to start out, like I everything was going great, and then I start live, and it's like, boom, there went the great day. And like for the next 30 minutes, it was absolutely horrible. But it's the day's been reset. Okay, the day's been reset. So hopefully the rest of the day is going to be amazing. I just feel like it's going to be amazing. Oh, Deanna, thinking of me after she gets her land legs back, saying, "We love you." Love your birdie. Betty, I know you meant Betty. Take a deep breath. It will be okay. I know. I needed to woo-saw something. Keep grinding. And Fit says, oh, thank you. Thank you, love. Keep grinding. We have your back. Aw, SJ, thank you. Melanie. Oh, you guys are super, super sweet. Look at that. Aw, my hero. Oh, thank you. And then Miss Robin, thank you. Got my love machine. I'm right there with you. God bless. Thank you, Happy Cappy. Amber, thank you. Stella May. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Oh my gosh. You turned my frown upside down. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for being the coffee club clan that you guys are. I love each and every one of you. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm going to take the little old girl out and play ball with her because she knows that's what her little heart wants. She just wants the ball. She wants to play ball. You want to say hi to everybody or you want to stay in your Betty bed? Yep, her Gene Simmons. But look in your lips. I'm not giving you a treat. I want to see if, come here. Come. Come say hi to everybody. Come. Come. Here she comes. Come. Oh, get the stretch out. Come on. Up. There you go. Oh, let me get that clear the chat. Aw. I bet Sonia feels the love. Aw, you guys are so good. I know. So I didn't realize it yesterday that Sonia was having such a bad day, but you guys are awesome. You guys let me know, and you guys were there for, and you prayed for, and you're still giving. They love you, Sonia. You're so sweet. Don't forget. Aw, you guys get to spend a whole week with this beautiful face. All right, get down. Bye-bye. All right, guys, you have a great day. Sorry this live really kind of, earlier, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's live. I'm not taking it down. So hopefully it'll cut all that, dead space out. But if it doesn't, just put a note. Can some of my mods go into each of these and just say that the live starts at XYZ time so people that are watching the replay crew don't think we lost our stuff and just decided to just tap out for a half an hour and just have a blank screen there for a while, Anyways, guys, I love you. Don't forget to sub up to, did I show you guys that? Hold on a second. Let me drop this in the chat on both sides first. So if you guys haven't been to my Substack, like I said, I'm not doing anything with it right now, like financially. I'm just writing articles there. If you guys would like to support the articles and stuff. That's why we were so laggy. None of these were paused. I was running 4 lives, essentially. No wonder I was having so much damn problems this morning. All right, guys, there it is on both sides. I just put the link for my Substack. If you guys would like to come over and sign up for my Substack, I'd greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. God bless. We'll see you back later this afternoon. I don't know when the live's going to be. The live will be, I'm thinking, probably about 5 or 5:30, and we're going to be doing some more Sebastian Rogers and whatever breaking news, happened during the day. We'll catch it for the first half of the live tonight, and then we'll jump into Sebastian Rogers. Let me ask you guys this. Would you guys like me to open up the phone lines? Did you guys like that? Would you guys call in? Because we did have, the phones were pretty busy, and I know that I missed a lot of people because I could see the call logs behind the scenes. I didn't, you couldn't hear them, but I could see them after the fact. If you guys like the call-in, or we can try to do a panel. I haven't done a panel in a while either. So, Honey Dip's like, well, I missed your... I will tell you, Honey Dip, if you go back to the replay crew, my system literally died on me first thing this morning. I don't know what the hell happened. So you might have to fast forward like a half an hour in. So you'll see the normal video pop up, our normal intro video. Well, you're going to have to fast forward until you see the intro video again. And that's where the live will start, because we lost like a half an hour this morning. I loved it. Okay, well then maybe we'll open it up. Maybe we'll open it up for a call-in show today. Yes, they're great. Panels would be great too. So we haven't done a panel in a really long time. Rick says Betty was angry but cute. my horns started poking up, right? My horns, that people were like, Betty, you gotta fix your crazy. You gotta fix your crazy. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm about to go full postal on y'all. Y'all have no clue how close it was. It was getting close. It was about to be a purge. That's the way. This is the way I felt when we first started the show. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, you guys have an amazing day. We'll be back later today. This afternoon, we'll open the phone lines up. And actually, you know what we'll do? Maybe we'll even, normal is boring. I gotta tell you, I can't do too stressful either. Like this morning, that was intense stress. Nothing working, nothing coming back up, everything just going tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. My anxiety was through the roof this morning. Okay, I'm glad my anxiety came back down, but you guys heard me even when I came on here. It's like I still couldn't even control. Like I said. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.